Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Analyst and Investor Conference Call to discuss Q1 FY2024 results of PTC India Financial Services Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during this conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Abhinav Goyal, Vice President from PTC India Financial Services Limited. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. Goyal.
Thank you and a very good afternoon to all investors and analysts, and we are pleased to welcome a warm welcome for discussing Q1 financial year 2024 results. So as been seen that this time we are having a result much before time. We have broken the trend which we were following last year, and now we are on the path of having a regular result with all compliances. So today we are having our Managing Director and CEO additional charge from Director Finance and CFO, Mr. Mahendra Lodha, who is also a chartered accountant, an eminent chartered accountant having years of experience in the relevant area. We are having Mr. S. Sivakumar, who is our Executive Director Credit and having years, decades of experience in banking sector. We are having Mr. Sanjay Rustgi, who is Senior Vice President, and we are having Mr. Devesh Singh, who is Vice President. So over to you, Lodha, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Hello, good afternoon, everybody.
Go ahead, you're audible.
Yeah, so I will just highlight a few things regarding the PFS. Is now fully functional board is there along with the 3 independent directors. I will highlight one is from Bharti Madam. She was Chairman and Managing Director of Corporation Bank. Another one is Mrs. Seema Bahuguna, very senior IAS officer. She was secretary in the center. So fully functional board is there. Now we are strengthening our senior management team. So we already recruited the Executive Director Credit, Head Internal Audit, Head HR Resources, Head for Finance, Director of Finance also has been appointed, and Chief Compliance Officer as well as Executive Director Monitoring and Recovery is in the process of joining. So most likely they are likely to join next week. So I think issues related to old matters of resignation of 3 independent directors have also been addressed. So we have unqualified audit report for financial year 22-23 as well as unqualified audit report for Q1 of 2024. So in financial year 22-23, it was around 176 crore. We have declared dividend of 10% for financial year 22-23. And again, that unqualified audit report we got for that Q1 of financial year 24. So PFS has achieved the PAT of around 36.77 crore for Q1 of financial year 23. So stress and NPA accounts are also being resolved, and trend is like resolution for all these NPA accounts, and focus is on improving the performance. So capital adequacy ratio is also there at a comfortable level of 34.9 with majority in the form of Tier 1. Net interest margin is around 4.33%. Debt to equity ratio is also around 2.05 times. So we are at a comfortable cash flow position with liquid funds of around 553 crores, including HQLA. So net worth of PFS is also around 2,200 crores. And market cap of PFS is around 1,450 crores plus. We are having loan book of around 7,453 crores. So again, that ICRA and CRISIL has also removed PFS from the watch list and reaffirmed their rating as A+. So we are having proposal worth of more than 1,000 or 1,200 crores which are sanctioned. So we are in the fundraising mode. So these are just brief highlights about the PFS. So over to Mr. Shiva, our Executive Director.
Good evening, everyone. I am Sivakumar. We have a good state of the proposals in the pipeline and also the disbursement in the pipeline. We have more than 1,000 crore disbursement also in the pipeline, which we are processing. And also we are looking at resolving some of our stressed assets. And going forward, I think we will have a clean and healthy book by this end of this second quarter.
Sorry, your audio is a little low. May I request you to speak a little louder, please?
Yeah. We are resolving the stressed assets also. We are expecting that we will move towards a very clean book by end of the second quarter this financial year.
Yeah, so that is from company side. I guess we may straightforward move to question answer session.
Thank you very much. We'll now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. First question is from the line of Sameer Dalal from Natwarlal & Sons. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I was there for your last analyst meet that you also had, and one of the big problems you had discussed back then also was the fact that you were not able to get funds or were looking for raising funds so you can start lending out. You already had certain proposals which you could fund and things like that, and you were expecting some funds to come in from particular overseas body. Any progress on either of that, and where are we getting stuck when it comes to raising funds for giving them out against the sanctions that you have?
Yeah, so that time we were in discussion when we last meet in Mumbai, we were in discussion for raising further funds. But, post that meet, there was some RBI directive and related media reporting. So that was a time when we were in at advanced stage of discussion. So somehow the process with the domestic lender has got delayed. So few of the lenders have requested us to wait for Q1 financial year 2024 results. So now the result has been over. So after having this result, we are again approaching our banker to have an appropriate consideration so as to have a sanction of cash credit line to us. Now, as regard to overseas lending, we got a sanction of $50 million from IFCL UK, which is under process of documentation. So this process is going on, and hopefully in next few weeks we will be able to draw the limits, the funds in our account. So that is the status as of now.
Okay, and from the domestic lender, what kind of ability of fundraising would you have if all the things you said that once the results come, they will open up a line of credit. So what kind of line of credit can we expect? And secondly, what is your repayment schedule for the next 3 to 6 months? Because now whatever repayment is also going to be there, are they going to re-lend to you? Because at the end of the day, your raw material is money, and if somebody is saying no, for whatever reason we don't want to give money, you are not going to be able to raise the funds. So I am trying to address what is your cash flow kind of situation in the next 6 months or 1 year.
Very valid question, and of course, for any financial institution, not only us, for any lending institution, raw material is money only. So as regard to cash flow position, I guess you must have gone through our investor presentation, page number 17, where we have shown the cash flow position not only for 0 to 3 months, but for longer buckets as well. So there, after going through, you may visualize that in terms of liquidity at this point of time, we are at a comfortable position. Now, another question is, what is the status of having a line of credit from banks and financial institutions from domestic market? Yes, we are in discussion, and we, few of the proposals proposal has gone from branch to HO level for appropriate consideration, and our management is also in discussion with their management at top level so as to expedite the process. We are quite hopeful that in time to come we will be able to get a few sanctions to cater the disbursement requirement for our organization.
Sure. And I'll ask one last question. It's in the same regards. There is something called co-lending, which a lot of institutions and banks are doing. Have you all thought about doing that for the time being, so at least you can, get the ball rolling where part of the loan is borne by you and part is given through a bank, through a co-lend? At least, your sanctions that you have and things can progress. Have you all looked at that option at all? And if not, are you planning on looking at that option?
I split your question in two parts. First one is lending and second one is co-lending, right? So as regard to lending activity, we already updated that we are in discussion with banks and financial institutions. So as whatever be the form, be it a lending or be it a co-lending, there is some outflow of money from the organization. So our first focus was to maintain appropriate ALM, which we are doing, which as I mentioned can be visualized from our investor presentation as well. Now, as regard to co-lending, we have initiated few of the things which our Executive Director, Mr. S. Sivakumar, may elaborate for. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. As regards to the option of co-lending, we are moving with a few of the institutions to have co-lending wherever it's possible. So with certain proposals we can share with them and share the risk and share the sanctions and other fees. So that option is now being discussed, and mostly we will come out with few proposals. We will end up co-lending with other institutions.
And in the co-lending that you all are looking at, any terms and conditions that you all have in mind which you will be following on the on the terms of those co-lendings?
It will be the conditions are basically will be mutually agreeable and mostly in the sectors of the infra only. So that's the one which we are looking at, and it's in a preliminary stage with 2 or 3 institutions we have bumped upon, and it is well received by those institutions also. So we are in the process of exchanging information and going ahead.
Okay, I'll get back in queue for the rest of the questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. Next question is from the line of Deepak Poddar from Sapphire Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir, for the opportunity. So first, I wanted to understand now, touching upon the fundraising part only. So how optimistic we are that we will be able to raise fund, in next 1 to 3 months?
So we are quite optimistic, and that is the reason we across all levels are putting so much effort for raising it, and that is the only challenge, not only challenge, but is among the prime focus area for us. So the process is going on as we mentioned, and hopefully in time to come there should be some good news for the company.
Okay, and what's the quantum we are looking to raise?
So, quantum, although we have not restricted ourselves to any limitation, but yes, as of now, we are in discussion for, 1,500 to 2,000 crore with various lenders, the request which has gone from our institution. And once we will be having some firm sanction from few of the lenders, and probably will approach for more sanction of limits.
And this 1,500 to 2,000 crores of, that's we are in talk, that we are likely to raise over next 3 months. Would that be a fair, fair thing to assume?
Yeah, so that is the amount for which efforts are going on, and we are working hard to achieve that. So that is, our time target as of now, as regard to fundraising.
And in what form would that these debt be actually? Would it be in terms of pure debt or in terms of NCDs or something else?
So LCD, not immediately, it would be in form of ECV to the extent 400 crore. As we mentioned that we are having a sanction of $50 million from one UK-based vendor. So for documentation is going on and probably in time to come now, if we convert 50 million into INR, then it amounts to roughly 400 crore. And rest would be in form of bank credit line, long-term credit line.
Bank credit line. Yeah. Understood. And so this would be the reason. I mean, if you see last quarters, our loan book has been stagnant at around 7,000 to 7,500 crores, right?
So I think there are ways how to look at the situation. So one way is that the book is stagnant, and another way is that there is a stability and the bottom is there. Reason being, before last quarter, every quarter we were declining. So it's over to you how you look at things, but that is a factual position.
Okay. But how do we see that? I mean, you have to see this year what sort of loan book we are targeting and maybe next year. So any kind of light you can provide there?
So, our first target was to ensure that the things should move in the right direction, for which, we are working, and one of the areas where we got success is that the results being published well at time. And I think in last few years, it's first time that results being published in the month of July. Now, every effort is to raise funds. So once the fund will start flowing to the organization, and the quantum has already been shared just now, so then that amount will be utilized for onward lending. So, as of now, we are not focusing any specific amount that, any, like we will do 5,000 crore or 8,000 crore. We are focusing that slowly and gradually, but of course, cautiously, we should start moving. So once we'll start moving, then probably that would be the right time to catch up the pace and to deliver more.
Correct. But have we started giving fresh disbursement? We have started, right?
We did some disbursement. We mentioned in our investor presentation in Q1 as well. We did some sanction as well. So 332 crore of disbursement we did in Q1 financial year 2024. And this quarter also we are working for making some disbursement.
Okay, understood. And in general, what sort of ROA we might target in our business?
Sorry?
What sort of ROA? What sort of ROA we can target in our business on a steady state basis?
So, it's around 1.5 to 2 we are looking at for the ROA for us, and given the situation, we are trying hard to achieve those numbers.
Because currently we are at 2.1, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, why a lower range? I mean, is there any additional cost that we expect to come?
There is a marginal increase in our cost of borrowings, and beyond a level, we will not be able to pass on our cost also to have a quality assets. So that's the one which we are looking. Maybe a few basis points will be here and there for ROA, and it will be more or less in line. Maybe few bits we will get reduced than what was there in the 2023.
Understood. That's quite helpful, sir. I mean, that's it from my side. Yep. Thank you so much. All the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask the question. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask the question. Anyone who wishes to ask the question may press star and 1. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask the question. Ladies and gentlemen, The next question is from the line of Vignesh Iyer from Sequent Investments. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Yeah, just to understand it, if I'm not wrong, in the last quarter earnings call, you had given a target of size of 9,000 crores AUM for this quarter. Are we looking at the similar target? I mean, we are maintaining that target for this financial year? Hello.
Yeah, so the target of AUM of 9,000 crores, yes, we are quite hopeful that by end of this financial year, we should be able to achieve that.
Okay, and what is the comfortable level of debt to equity that company sees? I mean, the management feels they're comfortable reaching.
So if you look at our debt to equity, we are, far more than the comfort being required. So we are just 2 times. So that way, we are, I should say, comfortable in terms of debt equity. And normally, NBFC can have a leverage up to 6-7 times. So if we look, the kind of room available to us and the kind of room we are utilizing as of now, there is enough cushion to do business in terms of debt equity and capital adequacy.
Okay. And what would be our cost of borrowing for this year? I mean, what are we eyeing? I mean, this.
So it is in line with the global trend only. So globally, the borrowing cost being increased. So globally, if you look at world market, there is an increase.
Participants, please stay connected. Line for the management dropped. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay connected while we rejoin the management back to the call. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. We have the line for the management reconnected. Sir, you may go ahead.
Yeah, so first, our apologies. There is some technical glitch because of that. We being dropped out of call, but yes, we were at cost of borrowing. So if we look at the scenario in general, then in last 1.5 years, there is a increase across the globe due to high inflation. And the increase has happened in domestic market as well, of course, lesser in comparison. Now, if we look at company financial, we were at just 8.35%. So that is, we should say, quite reasonable and competitive in comparison of similar rated any NBFC in the country. So, although, again, there is some increase in this borrowing cost is expected, as regard to that increase, we are having a policy, we are having a methodology where there is any increase in the borrowing cost that has to be passed on to our borrower. So, for that, we are following a PFS BR mechanism. So, for that, we are having a meeting on quarterly basis to review what is our borrowing cost and other operational costs, and if any correction being required in our lending rate, so that correction being made, and accordingly the cost being passed on to our borrower.
Okay, sir. Okay. Got it. Yeah, that's all from us, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask the question. Next follow-up question is from the line of Samir Dalal from Natwarlal & Sons. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Just a quick question on the recovery side. Last time when we had met also, you said you all were working actively on certain recoveries of loans, and they were expected that some recoveries from the gross NPA side might start coming through for where provisions were made to a very large extent. So any update you can give us on that, or any expectation of any recoveries in the next 3 months or 6 months?
We are expecting around 400 crores of assets in the gross NPA will be resolved by a very short possible time. That involves a asset which is almost at the verge of resolving. We are in the process of executing the documents and resolving it to the extent of around 135 crores. And another 150 crore asset, we are expecting a resolution anytime now because the matter is at NCLT and for the final orders.
Sure. So you said about 300, 400 crores. And this Danu Wind Park Private Limited, where the provisions are still limited, can you give some thought on what is the expectation on that one, which is kind of large, 282 crore, where provisions are only about 43 crores?
Absolutely right. That is the one which we are looking at. We are expecting this will be resolved, we have made various strategies for resolving these assets, and we are working very closely with the promoters as well as with the other stakeholders for resolving. We have various strategies. We are evaluating and we are finalizing, and we expect that we will resolve this account also by end of this quarter.
Okay. So you talked about Meenakshi, which is the 150, and the Vento Power, which is 135. So those two plus this 282. Is that fair to assume these three are at the last stages?
Absolutely. That's right. And the other one is NSL Nagapattinam, where there is a OTS offer is there that we are examining, and we will be taking to, we are doing the due diligence, and we will be putting up to our delegated authority for it.
Sure, and that NSL is fully provided for 125 crores, right? So whatever comes will be a full recovery.
Absolutely.
And any progress on the ILFS Tamil Nadu Power Company?
You might have read in papers also, it is the consortium is in the process of taking the revised rating for the restructuring. Once that is there, and we expect that will also be to extend largely resolved. And there are enough funds available also in the TRA, the sharing of the one which is taking place. So once the restructuring process is done, I think these funds also will be shared among the lenders. So we are also expecting a revision here maybe by third quarter.
Sure, and this one is also fully provided, right? I mean, including your impairment reserve which you are holding. So there's nothing outstanding. There's no more requirement of provisioning for any of these, right? Apart from Danu.
Yeah, we have adequate provisioning in ILFS Tamil Nadu, and we expect no more provisioning will be there post restructuring of that.
No, but what I'm trying to say is the impairment reserves that you're having of 147.5 crores, I mean, in case of whatever resolution, there will be no more requirement of doing any provisions for any of these five assets that you mentioned, apart from Danu, of course.
Apart from Danu. I just want to add one point here. So the impairment reserve represents the difference between the provisioning as per the Ind AS and as per the IRAC norms, as per the RBI. So in the 94.10 crores has been hit to my P&L account, whereas 147.50 crores is a appropriation of reserve. So with respect to 94.10 crores, the provision we have, it is adequate provisioning in sense. It is based on the resolution plan which has been placed, which got RP4 rating from one of the rating agencies as well. So we are hopeful to get the second RP4 rating for the same resolution plan. And if that resolution plan goes through, then we are not required to make any additional provision apart from this 94.10 crores. I think that.
Yeah, that answers the question. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. participants, you may press star and 1 to ask the question. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1. A reminder to all the participants, you may press star and 1 to ask the question. So we don't have anyone in the question queue.
Yeah, so we may proceed for conclusion.
Thank you. As there are no further questions, I would now like to hand the conference to Mr. Mahendra Lodha for closing comments.
Yeah, so thanks a lot to each and everyone for being here and seeking that clarification, whatever is required from the company side, based on that results recently we have published on 28th. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. On behalf of PTC India Financial Services Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us. You may now disconnect your lines. Thank you.